The month of Ramadan is basically here. So let me tell you guys a story about Ramadan and fasting that may or may not include cannibalism. So during Ramadan, in the life of the Prophet ﷺ, two women were brought to him and they were dying of thirst, asking permission to break their fast. And the Prophet ﷺ, rahmatul lil alameen, he looked at them and he said, no. Now a little while later, again, the same women were brought to the Prophet ﷺ, again, dying of thirst and dehydration. And the Prophet ﷺ looks at them, brings a bowl and says, now puke. I mean, that doesn't seem like the move when they're dehydrated. But the Prophet said it, must be true. So the women make themselves throw up and you're expecting nothing to come out. They've been fasting all day, but they begin to throw up blood, pus, bile, and human flesh. And the Prophet ﷺ says that these two fasted by staying away from what Allah made halal for them. But they broke their fast by indulging in what Allah made haram for them. They sat together until they began to eat the flesh of the people. Cannibalism? No, ghiba. What's ghiba, you ask? I mean, it's easy enough to say that ghiba means backbiting, but what does that really mean? So if we ask Deen Buddy here, we can see that backbiting is actually to say anything about your brother in their absence that they would dislike. So be careful what you say. So yeah, don't fast all day keeping things away from your tongue, only to ruin the reward of your fast because of what comes off your tongue. As the Prophet ﷺ said, fasting is a shield so long as it's not pierced. And what pierces it? Lying and backbiting. I mean, if you really want to vent, you could just yell at Deen Buddy. Technically, that's not backbiting.